Hello and welcome to the first game of the second day here at Polaris. We have APEKS against Human TripWires, the game that I think MP a lot of people have been looking forward to simply because it's the first time we're going to have an opportunity to have a look at this APEKS roster in real time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. APEKS, they look like a really strong roster, and I was saying really close to tier 1 roster, and you have a lot of tier 1 talent. Enzo, Magnum, Mystic, they were tier 1 talent in Fnatic, Shadow back in the days in FPX. Keiko is only one of those players who is kind of unknown to the mainstream. I think he's been popping off here and there, but still a lot of talent in this roster. I'm so excited to see what they have in offer, especially for Magnum, because we have been already talking about the Sentinel meta, the Cypher and Killjoy meta back in yesterday already. We saw that in coming in fruition, especially for the side of Nille. And I think Magnum is definitely one of those players that can make it work easily. Killjoy especially. I think that's the image in my picture when I think about Killjoy is like Magnum.
Magnum. So is it Magnum the player that you think we should be looking out for in terms of the APEKS roster, or do you think it's maybe another player? Keiko?
Yeah, I think Magnum is good, but yeah, Keiko is the player that I am not quite too familiar with, but I think Keiko is definitely one of those players that should be in a really good position in this roster. You have a lot of supportive talent around you, and you are gonna be the star player, or you should be. That's pretty much the base that this roster I think has built on. That Keiko has so many opportunities coming into his pool to be that star player, be able to shine on the server and use that utility.
Okay, well, the APEKS roster, I think, as we mentioned as well, a lot of these players coming in with a lot of tier 1 experiences, and we even had an opportunity to kind of figure out a little in terms of how this is going to be slotting together. Again, it's just a look at the players that we can be expecting on the server today, and we are expecting great things. Enzo specifically, one of the players that we've seen last year in Polaris. He started off competing under Alliance, and we've seen him compete there. So we're kind of aware of what we can expect in terms of his performances, although it's been a while since we've seen some of these players compete. I think today again is going to be quite a big showcase of the talent that we have here at Polaris, but to do so they're going to have to go up against Human TripWires. Now this roster, we had it last year on Polaris as well, and they finished 5th. So they didn't actually qualify for the playoffs, but they still had quite a good run. They're back in it this time around, but it feels like they have only held on to one player, and that's Devo.
Yeah, I mean, one of the most instrumental players, in my opinion, in this roster, playing the duelist role, most likely. We haven't seen a single game from this roster, so can't really say that, but Devo is a really heavy duelist player. But Human TripWires, they're replacing almost the whole roster, and Epps, Stanley, Connor, Fern coming to the side of Devo, I think brings a lot of talent from different regional leagues as well. Epps obviously playing for Angry Titans, reaching all the way to VRL finals, which is, I think, amazing. That is already a lot of confidence from that side and a lot of experience. Then you have Fern, who has played for the longest time. I think even beginning of Valorant, he has already played in the comp scene. Connor, Stanley, I think Connor was a little bit of a newer face for me. Stanley has been around for a little bit, both played for Movistar Riders and I think 10 Star as well. So definitely experience there as well, but not quite the tier 1.
Maybe not quite a tier 1, but also something about APEKS is the fact that they have multiple coaches with them, assisting them on their journey here at Polaris. So let's have a chat with Iropada and Ginny, who are digging down a little in terms of a couple of questions. You ready? Thank you, Ginny, with Iropada, one of the coaches of APEKS, who are making their debut today. So first of all, welcome to Polaris. What are you guys looking forward to the most?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Obviously, we're looking for the win. that's our main goal, and this is what this team has been built for.
Yeah, and speaking about the way the team has been built, actually, there is a lot of different experiences in terms of the players that you guys have. So how is that coming together? How is that affecting the team dynamic?
I think that team dynamic is really good right now, considering it's a new team. Overall, I think there is a really good balance right now between all of the players and the individuals that we have. And yeah, everything's been working out really well so far.
Yeah, and you guys also have quite a lot when it comes to the coaching staff. So I think probably in Polaris, you guys have like the most coaches for a team. So what's that been like, just coming into a team? It's completely new. So how does it feel to slot in with everyone?
It just took us a lot of scheduling and planning to implement everyone and to distribute all the workload for the coaches. But I think at this point we already figured it out, so everything is working smoothly.
Okay, well, looking to see how that's going to play out today. But it's your first official match as well. So what are you expecting from your 5 players? What do you think they will be doing? What are your predictions?
Well, for predictions, I would like a 2-0 win from the boys.
Yeah.
And as expectations, I really want to see them perform in the way that they've been playing in scrims.
Yeah. Thank you so much for thank you for taking the time to do the interview. Looking forward to see exactly how you guys have been performing in scrims, and hopefully that's going to be playing out well today on broadcast as well. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, you heard it here first. APEKS, a lot of different experiences slotting together very well, and it looks promising to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like to hear from the coaches as well. I think Iropara gives a good insight into the roster, and definitely gives maybe the comfort to seeing that coach just kind of coming to the same level, seeing him be human, not be behind that name Iropara, but just be there and saying it's gonna be all good. But I think we already highlighted a little bit of these 2 players, Keiko and Fern, and I want to dive deeper into Keiko, especially right now. I think he's definitely gonna be one of those players to watch, and like I said, he's gonna be that individual that should be the star player in this roster. But how did Keiko start? It was like back in the days. Well, not even back in the days. That was a year ago. Keiko actually played for
back in the days. Back when I was younger.
Like, when I was young, when I was like 22.
When I had hair.
Unnecessary right there. But yeah, he was actually qualifying for Polaris under Goose House, but didn't quite get in. Keiko was already showing pretty good performance in that qualifier. Then he went to Wild, playing for the French league. I think he had decent performances here, but wasn't quite that pop-out player in my opinion. Then he played a little bit for ITB. But I think it was when Bonker actually recruited him in Bonk, he started having these really good performances in the tournament, and actually Coupe de France, he was one of the best players in that whole tournament. I think it was top 3 in terms of rating. I think ACS was top 3 as well. Amazing performances overall. And I'm pretty sure that's where APEKS scouted him from, and they were like, okay, this Keiko guy is insanely good, and I think he's 19 as well, so really young gun when you compare to Kix and Yuseo yesterday as well. I love to see these young guns just come online, pop off.
Yeah, it feels like we have quite a lot of those here at Polaris. Makes me feel bad about when I was 19, but that's okay. I'm here now. I guess I'm doing something. But looking at the teams, both APEKS and Human TripWires here, MP, it's one of the teams, both of the teams actually, that we have not seen compete in the last 3 months. So we can't really say what we can be expecting from them in terms of maps. But all in all, yesterday we saw a lot of Haven and Ascent, and I think that's just one of those very standard maps that if you're a new team coming together, it's quite easy for you to just go onto that map and try and get a couple of rounds in, and that's exactly what Bonk did. But I'm gonna get us out of this misery, okay? We don't have to play the guessing game because we have broadcast magic, and with broadcast magic, just like that, we're gonna have a graphics, and it's gonna show us exactly what we're gonna be looking at today, starting off with Ascent, Icebox, and Pearl for the decider.
Okay, Pearl is quite a big surprise that neither one of these teams wanna ban it, because both of these teams have been, they have been working behind the scenes, but we haven't seen a single match from them. We don't know how well the Pearl is polished, and it's interesting to see that they let this map slide. Ascent, not a surprise. We are 100% gonna see this unless it's a permaban for either one of these teams. Icebox, kind of surprising, but APEKS picking that brings a lot of confidence into their Icebox. I think it's probably gonna be amazing. Keiko being able to just pop off, have those support players giving him a lot of util and just go off. Ascent might be a little slower map. They might want to just go for those defaults, look out, and I'm interested to see whether human TripWires are gonna go for like triple initiator comp. What are they gonna go for? Is it gonna be that Killjoy coming in for the side of Fern? Because I think they have a rivalry in between Fern and Magnum, because Magnum, when he joined Koi, Fern was the main sentinel in Koi before that, but when he joined Koi, he took over that main sentinel role, obviously the more experienced player. So I wonder if Fern actually has like kind of, how would you say, like a grudge against Magnum to take that slot away, and he's like, I'm gonna show you I'm the better Killjoy. That's one thing that I would want to see in terms of the agent select.
Yeah, I think also when we're looking at Ascent specifically, traditionally here for Human Tripwires, that was their most played map back in Polaris last year. So they felt very comfortable on this map specifically. But again, as we mentioned earlier, they only held on to one player. That's going to be Devo. Yeah. So in that regards, how much of that is going to be able to be translated from last year onto this year with this whole new roster coming into play? And also against the fact that we're playing against the likes of APEKS. As we said it before, we'll say it again. We sound like a broken record at this point, but there is tier 1 experience, not in one player, not in 2 players, but in 3 players in total. And that is quite a lot to be taken into consideration here, especially for Human Tripwires, who unfortunately last year they finished 5th, so they didn't even qualify for playoffs. And when we're looking at the ambitions for APEKS, they're like, yeah, we want to win the whole thing. So I'm expecting them to be hitting the ground running here on Ascent. And a lot of mistakes yesterday, MP, that we've seen from literally every one of the teams, that was the fact that a lot of util was being brought out when it's individual 1v1. So I'm thinking this potentially could not be something we're seeing from APEKS onto these maps.
Yeah, I really heavily doubt it. But one of the key parts that we saw yesterday, it was kind of a trend. It was that Ascent attacking side was really heavily favored for these teams. Yeah. They started on attacking, I think it was Focus and Bonk, who were able to just dominate that. And I wonder if the trend continues, because if it does, it's going to be really interesting to see where Ascent is going to be developing. I think a lot of the attacking side heavy favor came down to just knowing that map completely, having the confidence there, and snowballing it out of control. And if APEKS can do that against Human Tripwires here, blackout there, but if they can do that, I think it's going to be real rough for them to even try and come back in Icebox.
Yeah, and I think Icebox as well, the map yesterday that we've seen quite a little bit of. And I think, again, one of those maps that a lot of these players know like the back of their hands. They don't have to think too much about a lot of lineups that we've seen yesterday, for example, came out, especially when you're playing up against a Killjoy, and it feels like those Sova shock darts are coming in very crucially. But yesterday, this is something that I don't want to see today, and that is the Sage wall diffuses.
Yeah, no.
Because I cannot handle that.
Nah, not again. It's so good on pistol. You see it multiple times on pistol, but that I think you didn't see a single Sage wall defuse on pistol. It was more on the rifle rounds. And actually, like full rifle rounds. It was crazy to see multiple times, even diffuses coming through the smoke. So that's definitely something that I don't think, especially APEKS, is gonna let slide. I don't think Human Tripwires either. They probably saw yesterday and they were like, "This kind of embarrassing. We don't want to get laughed at like this." So I don't think it's gonna happen. At least not so many times.
Yeah, I hope not, simply because, again, like we've seen it yesterday, but I think yesterday as well for some of the teams that we've seen competing, it was nerves kicking in. And that was, I think, one of the things that is really important to note when we're looking at APEKS. It feels like nerves potentially could not be something to kick in here because they've already competed at a higher level, so therefore most likely able to reel it in together. But looking at the comp, it's a mirror comp. Surprise!
Yes, it is, and we are actually gonna see the matchup: Fern versus Magnum. I just waited for this. I knew it was gonna happen unless the triple initiator comp comes in. But when you have 2 really strong Sentinel players, especially Killjoys in this map, why not take it? Shadow on the KO. I'm so waiting to see what Shadow and Keiko can do with this combination of KO and Jet. And I love to see Shadow back in my radar, because he has been under the radar for a little bit, especially for me. He played for Vitality and Giants previously. Obviously, FPX has that tier 1 talent there as well. So interesting to see what Shadow has been working on under the radar, and just amazing start, hopefully, for this day.
Yeah, Kaiko up against Devil on the Jet yesterday. We've seen it from both teams, from every team on SN. So that was a total of 4 of them, actually. The fact that this Jet can have such a big impact on the games, and I'm expecting that to be the case again today. We've seen a lot of Jets going out aggressively, whether it's pushing out mid, whether it's pushing out on A main, and get those early picks. However, I think something that I lacked yesterday was the couple of utilities. So Focus eventually did it quite well, especially on their second map. But it felt like when we were looking at the game of Bonk that was going up against Vamonos, coupling that utility, having like that Omen blind going out, letting Jet push out aggressively, having the KO flash, giving Jet that space, that opportunity, that pressure to get those early picks was maybe not capitalized as often. Respectfully though, the Killjoy setups were actually slapping, and I don't want to see those in my games.
Oh yeah, especially in Pearl. I think those were probably one of the best setups that I saw, and the isolation on the duels. I loved it. Usually in this map, in Ascent, you're gonna see kind of similar setups that you have already played against multiple times. That alarm bot down in mid, double nano swarms in the entrance of B side, Killjoy turret somewhere around CT, market, maybe even lane, and human TripWires. They want to start aggressive, especially on this B side. It's gonna be more of a default. It's gonna be fake actually.
Killjoy set up once again, doing a little bit of damage on Devo. This gives him the opportunity to push out into mid. We said mid last time around yesterday from every single one of the teams had not been contested very heavily, but it feels like Devo potentially could have been watching the broadcast and decided to switch it up a little, because now he's gonna be in the back of their mind from the side of APEKS, and they need to be able to take care of him, whether all the action is happening already onto A site.
And the Shadow just shooting away. But Devo is there to open up that B side. No Killjoy utility left because the Killjoy is dead. Fern and Connor slowly rotating too. And Enzo and Shadow, they have to step up instantly. Like we talked about, the attacking side, for some reason, it was heavily favored yesterday. It could snowball off of hand, and when you go to the defensive side, there's not much you can do if you're losing like 8-4 or something like that.
Yeah, and simply because Devo had already had himself positioned onto mid, we can see from the positioning of Enzo, he's still not fully aware of his position and whether this is something that they need to be taking care of. So that's causing a lot of distraction. Shock Dart, 2 HP, it is going to land. But Shadow and Enzo need to play out this 2v. I was going to say 2v3, but make that a 0v2, because Devo this round is so instrumental to getting that pressure in space.
Yeah, I really like the setup from Human TripWires. That was really odd for me. I think I've seen that previously like a couple of times, but not in a pistol round when you dash into market, get that control, kind of create a fake around B as well, but take control, which is the most important part. You have control of market, deep mid as well. I think it was clear cut, just going for that B side, dash in, and just holding that control, not even going for mid. Insane confidence, in my opinion, coming through from Human TripWires to just execute that from the first round.
I've seen this film before. The technical pause coming out after the first round. We've seen this yesterday with Focus, where they had a technical pause after losing a couple of rounds in a row, actually. And then they just swung right back. So interesting to see who the technical pause is coming from and how this is going to be impacting that momentum, dare I say so, from Human TripWires, simply because they win that first round. And we are also looking at Devo, the fact that he has a Vandal MP. I know you really like this one.
Yeah, I do. I still call it the FPX buy, because I think FPX was the one who popularized it and pulled it out in the tier 1 scene multiple times. I think Navi was doing like a Bulldog buys before that or something. And I really like investing for the rifle on the second round. I don't like what they're doing around him though. Triple Spectres. It's not like it's not doing the FPX buy in completion. Devil just investing a little bit heavier on the Vandal, going for half shield, and you're basically just trying to get that extra rifle on the bonus round, and Devil maybe getting the Blade Storm off when they have to go to bonus round or round 4. So it's all good when you're Jet and you're getting the confidence already. You can get the Blade Storm off, farm the orbs, and I really like it from human TripWires in a sense that they want to secure this second round instantly. They want to secure this second round because they're on the attacking side and just cover their bases.
Yeah, and we said it as well before the game even started. The Kaiko versus Devil matchup is going to be one to look out for simply because of how big of an impact the Jets were having yesterday. So this is something that we're expecting again to be translating into today's games. And so far, it has. And I think that's a good thing, but also yesterday when we seen a couple of Jets buy that rifle on the second round, unfortunately they lost it. So again, I'm going to do exactly what I did yesterday, and until it tells me what team won which round, I am going to hold my horses, and I'm not going to say anything, because I feel like when I do, it does not work out correctly.
Yeah, no, and I would hope that we're going to see more operator kills, more operators coming in this ascent especially. I think both of these players, they can hold the operator, they can play well, and we didn't see that really yesterday, especially on the match of Vamonos and Bonk. I think there was only 3 operator kills. There was operators picked, but you couldn't really do anything because I think it was poorly positioned yesterday, just trying to go for that single mid position 3 times in a row when they have been smoking it like the whole half.
Yeah,
it wasn't well executed.
Yeah, and I also think yesterday specifically, mid pressure was not the priority for a lot of these teams, and already Devil prioritizing it since round number 1 is looking a little promising. And that is a blind. This is the util usage that we're talking about. You're sending in a drone, they're trying to clear out the drone. The blind comes out from Stanley at the same time, and this pushes them further back onto the site. Flashbang coming out as well from the side of Human TripWires, and Devo, he's already positioned quite securely. Ebbs gets 1, Connor gets another. 2 players remaining once again for the side of APEK. Make that 1 because Mystic is the only man left. But Stanley with the Spectre and the running and the gunning, he gets every single one off the board, and that's a flawless round for Human TripWires.
Yeah, really clean, good round, and this could allow even Fern to invest into a rifle. Maybe Bulldog, because he has full shields. But is it just gonna stick with the serve? I think he is. They're gonna make the wise decision of just holding out that bank, maybe investing for operator. Attacking side operator would be interesting here, coming in round 4. And yeah, Fern, he's not gonna clean out the bank, even though he could even probably buy a full rifle here and be fine on the next round. Wait.
Magnum, Odin, brr.
Did you see that KO knife? I think he went to Mirage or something.
Yo, I'm more excited about Magnum going with the Odin, but alright. We're happy to talk about that. Oh, they're not going to be clearing out Kaiko or Shadow. They get 1 apiece. Connor does find a trade eventually, but Kaiko, he is online. The player we said to keep an eye out on. And just like that, APEKS have a round on the board.
That was clean. Not quite flawless, but it was still clean. Lost a lot of shields down there, 1 rifle, but this just dominance in this round shows a lot of what APEKS has to offer. And you were talking about Magnum's Odin. That I hate that.
Yeah, sorry.
Like it's great. It's great when you're playing on Magnum's side, but I hate it. I think it was even Bone Cold in VRL finals was abusing this with the Sova. And there was nothing, I think it was even Angry Titans, there was nothing they could have done. And yeah, they won.
Exactly, they won. Look at this.
Fern.
Oh, it's so disgusting.
63 HP on Fern. He can't do anything.
I hate it. But at the same time, I don't.
Yeah.
It's great.
Love-hate relationship with the
Yeah,
Odin.
I personally don't use it, but when my teammate, on site is anchoring and whips out that Odin, I know in my heart, I know deep down in my soul that it's okay to leave them alone and go somewhere else. And that's what we're seeing. They're kind of rotating away from the B side and going towards A because they also have Enzo pushed out aggressively onto B main, which means that their help is not required onto B. And with the first sound cue coming in onto A, rotations are going to be put out immediately.
He was quick with it, getting that pick on the Shadow, opens up the side a little bit. Spike is so far, Stanley has to go retrieve that. Meanwhile, Keiko gets a pick. Maybe another one. That goes for Mystic. They just clean up the side 2 versus 4 situation. Still a good chance for the side of human TripWires, especially because the B side is cleared out. They know that no one's gonna be there. At least the Killjoy is far away. And Fern, he's gonna position aggressively.
Yeah, Fern has that opportunity to push out on A, but instead it feels like Stanley is hovering more towards B side. Every single member from the side of APEKS has been accounted for already.
10 seconds left.
So they know this is free for the taking. With 10 seconds on the clock, they get the spike down. And now it's a retake scenario from the side of APEKS. So the way they approach this, considering they have the numbers advantage, is going to be crucial because they can play from boathouse.
Dark coming in, doesn't quite spot anyone. Good trades. Stanley still 1 versus 2 situation, and they line up. They line up on the Stanley.
Stanley is not here to play. Yo.
No.
He goes for that initial trade off of the teammate, off of Byron, and then immediately they just line up for him. A little bit potentially of a miscommunication that was looking so dire from the side of human TripWires, and just like that, beautiful finisher as well. Gotta give it to the champ skin. 3-1 for human TripWires. They're doing it.
They are doing it. The attacking side curse. I would even call it. Stanley, I think APEKS, they took the trades initially really well, getting that first pick, but then just line up Keiko. Really good with the pick. Devo trying to do something fast, comboing with another, or a lot of utility, but Keiko just holding this heaven position. It's not expected.
And B also, as of now, not being contested. And again, this shows that human TripWires do prefer trying and create some sort of pressure through mid, which as far as of now has worked out in their favor. They could potentially be triggering the alarm bot. Never mind, that is taken out of the equation as well. And Magnum once again left by his own devices to try and defend. Farron finds a pick. Kaiko comes out immediately with the trade. They're looking to push out into tree, get punished for it immediately. Stanley is in mid. It's under their control. Magnum finds one, but with the spike still in human TripWire's hands, and the fact that it's a 2v2, they're gonna have to give up sight and just play for that retake. Connor. Oh, that was quick.
Yeah, these guys are fast.
30
now it's
seconds
Shadow
left.
on 1 versus 2 situation. Last time around, they had 4 players to face. Now it's only Shadow with no utility. 0 point coming up in 5 seconds. Maybe a little bit of information coming through, and he is lining it up already. Is it enough?
He's gonna be able to spot out 1 player, so therefore slightly aware of the fact that Stanley is playing off of sight. But you cannot play with this man. You want to peek him? It's not gonna work.
Stanley has convinced me.
Yeah.
Amazing performances already, starting from probably I would say round 1, but then popping off, getting that 3k. Gained so much confidence for this guy to even push mid, get that kill. They're so fast with it. Magnum just gets taken out. He doesn't even get to react there.
Well, APEKS timeout. I think this is to be expected. You're down 3 rounds, and it feels like even when you potentially have that upper hand, especially on the retake, you're 4v2 and still unfortunately don't manage to pull that off. A couple of things need to be reeled in a little, and I think starting off with mid control. Human TripWires, they're focusing very heavily on getting at least 1 player in some way, shape, or form to pressure mid. It feels like APEKS, as of now, are not really responding to that pressure.
Absolutely not. And I think in terms of like thinking about the team's experience, there's a lot of pressure on the side of APEKS. Definitely. I think it's always when you're going to be the better team, quote unquote, there's going to be a lot of pressure. Basically, human TripWires, they have nothing to lose here, which is really good for them. They're going to be the underdogs. This might be the story in the first matchup, and especially how Stanley is performing. I think Stanley is even one of those players who doesn't quite have any experience. I think he has the least amount of experience in all of these players, and it's just popping off. That's insanely good.
They're leaving Stanley for the side of Byron. to try and pick out some of these aggressive pushes that they are expecting from APEKS, but they're not looking in mid. Kaiko finds 2 with the Blade Storm, but that's all he's going to be able to get for now. Mind you, this is an eco round. This is the most aggressive we've seen APEKS so far, and that's exactly what they needed to get a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, Connor playing it smart, just throwing the rifles out of the map. So APEKS cannot capitalize on that. Stanley once again approaching short. He's so fast with this, but still survives. 3 players waiting on A. If you want to reverse, I think they're committing to the A side.
Could be. They're aware of Enzo's position, although a couple of shots are fired through through smoke. Giving the position away even further. Blind coming out. Mystic looking to clap back, but it's not gonna land the shot, but that's the blind that he needed. He managed just to find one, but Stanley's already creeped up all the way in the back. 65 HP left. The Killjoy lockdown coming in. And APEKS are looking like they're crumbling a little.
Yeah, lockdown buying quite a lot of time for the side of human TripWires, but look at Magnum. He can wrap around all the way to A main. Are they aware of this? It seems like Fern is 2 shots to the body is enough for both of these players for human TripWires.
Ooh, they pass each other just about. Magnum's not noticed Firen, but Stanley does manage to get a pick. Eventually Enzo goes out on top, but Firen, he was playing so safely in hell. He was waiting for that contact on Stanley. That was just perfect.
Yeah. It looked like there was a lot of struggle for the side of human TripWires in terms of actually losing 4 rifles against an eco. Okay, it's not fair because Kaiko, he had the Blade Storm. Could have even gotten a 4th out of that situation, but doesn't play connect last knives on the Blade Storm. If he got that 3rd one, he would have cleared the whole main. They would have gotten 3 rifles, and that could have been a whole different round. But human TripWires, once again, we have to talk about this attacking side.
Yeah.
What is happening with all of these teams?
Yeah, the attacking side buff, I guess. Stanley does manage again to creep into this backline, which is worrying because they need to be taking that into consideration. Null command coming out as well. Spike, though, still left outside B main, needs to be going and getting retrieved, but it feels like the B side is fully under human TripWire's control. It's a matter of getting that plant down, and now they're forcing APEKS once again into a retake.
Stanley taking aggressive position in the logs, but Kaiko is so fast. Hunter's Fury coming in, tags the 1. Does he get another tag? No, Stanley.
No, Devo does find a pick himself. Kaiko does eventually get the trade. Eb still on the hunt, is gonna find one, but Kaiko is not one to be messing with this time around. Coming out on top, being the champion that his team needs. And Connor playing from both houses, gonna miss all of the shots as of now, and Shadow finishing out, putting him out of that misery. The fuse coming through from APEKS, and that was a good retake.
Yes, it was. APEKS pretty much clearing every corner. Kaiko getting that first initial pick outside of B main is so crucial. He covers that no one is going to come for the flank because Kaiko has the pressure. Also covers that flank for the pressure for the side of human TripWires. And look at that, 12 kills already on the board. And like we talked about, Kaiko is supposed to be the star player in this roster, and I think he's building up to it already.
Yeah, but also not to take away anything from Stanley.
No.
10-4. This man is popping off, but it feels like Kaiko is like creeping up in these rounds where he gets multiple kills in a row. Absolutely beautiful to see. Really good performance, even on the eco round. Did so much for the team. Devo is gonna get flashed out into mid, not gonna find anything. Slice to go back up in tree.
Yeah, Mystic, Magnum, the duo, the dream duo from Fnatic, just holding around 3. Mystic, not aware quite yet, but Magnum is holding that angle.
Oh, a little bit of util used too early there for Mystic. Is going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's not going to have the opportunity to go anywhere except into the next round. Kaiko's still lurking in the smoke. He's not been accounted for. Devo does find a pick. Kaiko has to clap back immediately. He has to get out of the smoke if he wants to do anything, and he finds both. But it's Enzo that's doing so much because Kaiko is no longer in the equation. Enzo stepping up to the plate. Still has some work to do, but this time Shadow along his side. Spike yet to be planted from the side of TripWires. He finds another one more player left. Enzo is doing so much, but Devo is the one to close closes out with an ace. Human Tripwires are a force to be reckoned with.
They absolutely are. If Stanley was the name at the start, Devo stepped up on that round completely. 5k, that ace, finishing out the 1 versus 2 situation. And even how Human Tripwires peaked against Enzo, that shows me a lot of discipline. They were just waiting for each other. Peeking through that elevation, Devo was a little bit too late, but getting both of the kills right there. The aim adjustment on the second as well. Wow.
They put in a lot of practice. That was beautiful to see. We're not ready for the Human Tripwires of 2023, ladies, gents, and everyone else. This is incredible. And that is the aggressive push from Magnum. Gets punished immediately. Devo still has 1 knife left. But the smoke for now is giving Kaiko a little bit of safety. 73 HP, looking to get those shots off, but it's not going to be enough. Connor will be the one to take him down, but you still have to take into consideration the fact that Enzo is also hiding in the smokes. So once this drops again, he's going to either have to go to safety or fight this head on. But it looks like Human Tripwires are not looking for that fight. They want to call it a day and want to rotate.
Yes, they do. Is Enzo gonna be pushing? This would be the perfect time. He clears B lobby. They know it's gonna be a side hit right now. Mystic Shadow, both with the shorties. Look at this positioning. They're gonna push close. They wanna utilize this close range with the shorties.
30 seconds left.
30 seconds on the clock. And it's an advantage for Human Tripwires, not just in a gunpowder, but also in terms of the members that they have available. It's gonna hold him down just a little, and with the doors closing, it's gonna force Shadow out of their position, but he gets punished immediately, does find a little bit of a hit. Byron does not care, and Enzo now with this Odin. Can he do what needs to be done? He's gonna be able to spot out Devo, gets Connor. Calm and collected under pressure, has the shock darts coming out, but as he pushed out of the smoke, Byron is ready. Human Tripwire with a 5-round advantage.
Enzo right there had a recon bolt as well. I'm not quite sure why he's not using it to push through the smoke. Maybe use a little bit of distraction, get that information. So maybe trying to catch the Omen off guard while TPing. And Human Tripwires, what an amazing lead. I wasn't expecting this, and neither was any of the talent. Obviously, it's their own map pick. It should look something like this, but on the attacking side, there's no way I was expecting this to go once again for the attackers. It's Ascent. Kaiko getting that operator could mean something. It's on the wrong place of the map.
Unfortunately, A feels like where Human Tripwires are the most confident. Hunter's Fury's coming out, not gonna be tagging anyone but Devo. He's using the distraction to push up so aggressively. Byron is right behind him. This duo is absolutely insane. Devo dashing onto rafters, but Byron making sure that he's crossing safely. What is going on with the Human Tripwire roster this time around? I did not expect that.
Absolutely not. Enzo being menaced though. The double shock darts, Odin. Hunter's Fury invested as well. A little bit low. But does he get a tag? I think Stanley, yeah. Both of the remaining players get tagged. No, actually EPEKS only. Devo gets taken out.
Well, shooting out of hell could potentially mean that you're gonna get shot back, so it's a little awkward in terms of the positioning that EPEKS is finding himself in. It's gonna be a matter of getting out from hell and getting that spike down, because that's what they're looking to doing the most. But Enzo's gonna give some positioning. The Molly will also be doing damage to hell. We found that out yesterday, everybody.
Yeah, almost a highlight for Kicks. Kegel takes the first out. Stanley is there to trade, but not this time. Shadow just covers that round. He doesn't want to let another one go loose to Stanley. They do not line up this time. And APEKS, they get the third one on board. And you know what, Ginny? If if they take 2 more rounds, this could be once again the good old 3-9 curse. But let's not go there quite yet.
We love it when the caster says it, because obviously it doesn't happen when the caster mentions that something's gonna happen. Like the complete opposite happens, so therefore like it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Obviously. I mean, it's the caster curse for a reason. And look at the positioning of the last two players there. Imagine that happening in the round 3, speaking side by side. Could be a whole different game.
Absolutely. But it didn't happen. Here we are. Every action has a reaction.
So, yep. Sounds fair.
Yeah, sounds about right. One way though is gonna make that a little bit more difficult to peek. Definitely not as safe. The flash allowing Magnum to push out aggressively. Finds one Devo though, unaccounted for in market. It's gonna punish them immediately. Lockdown coming out, and that's gonna make it even more difficult for APEKS to get onto this side. They need to wait it out a little. It gives some form of safety to Human Tripwires, and Shadow taken out as well from Boathouse, adding Mystic onto the tally. Human Tripwires are out for blood, but so is Kaiko.
A heavy guns left, Operator and Odin. You should probably save this for the last run. Yeah, they will.
No, they listen to you. That's crazy. Could never be
I have
me.
the comms.
You're like plugged into your comms?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cheating, bro.
Yeah, I'm the 4th coach.
Oh, what are you doing here then?
I don't know. That's probably because that's probably why they're losing, because I'm the 4th coach.
Makes a lot of sense.
Standing.
Yo, Devo actually taking out Enzo.
Well, that's the Odin gone.
Yeah, you don't want to lose that when you're going for a save. I don't know why Enzo was so close. So eager to go for those exit frags, but at this point, it's better to save the Odin. Just
Last
kind
round
of try
before
to
the
hurt
switch.
the economy of Human Tripwires. Obviously, the money isn't best for Human Tripwires either, but it's the last round they're gonna have buy no matter what, unless you take all 5 of them out. Then yeah, they might not have that great of a buy, but you better save that Odin. It might do a lot of damage, and I think Enzo has gotten probably like 6 out of his 11 kills with the Odin.
Yep. And Human Tripwire is impossible to have a bad half. Like, they're 8-3. Like, they can make it a 9-3 if they want to, an 8-4. Doesn't matter. If anything, APEKS, this is their round to win because they want to give themselves a little bit of a cushion, and they need to make sure that the next pistol round is also under their belt.
Keiko? Oh, Connor is prepping for the flash. Is Keiko gonna be ready for that?
He's gonna have a player that almost looked like a collat, but Connor, with the box bang, wall bang, however you want to call it. Ooh, Shadow sees 1 pixel of the beanie. Tries to click on it, but it's not gonna be enough. Magnum, though, he's making sure that Stanley doesn't get through. Firen does find the trade. Lockdown from the side of Magnum also being initiated. Just pushing Human Tripwires off of their initial plans. The thought of going A is no longer viability, and this is allowing Mystic to go for an insane reposition.
But I think Human Tripwires, they're still looking for A side.
Yep.
They know that the Omen might have rotated to B. Mystic creeping around. Is he gonna have the perfect timing? This could be it.
Find out on today's episode, and that's exactly what's happening. He gets the first, the second, and with 1 enemy remaining in the spike down in mid, it feels like it's falling apart for Human Tripwires this time around. That 9-3 curse would not be a reality. Maybe it was done on purpose.
Yeah, for sure. I think Human Tripwires, they're like, we don't not want to go there. It's 11% chance that we're gonna lose from that position. So let's not go there. It's too high, too high.
11 is really high, yeah. 11%?
Yeah, it's more than 10.
Whoa, that's like more than like single digit. Yo, that's crazy.
Are you sure though? I'm not really good at math, so I'm not
yeah,
quite sure.
I can tell.
Well, what's 10 plus 9?
21?
Okay, you know it.
Oh, you stupid. No, I'm not.
I don't know that one.
You
I have no clue what you're saying.
It's literally oh my goodness. You're terrible to cast with.
I'm uncultured.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes.
All
Most
the
of the time.
Yeah,
I'm too old. 23. It's basically retirement already. But Devo is not close to retirement. He's close for these kills. But Mystic is there to take them back.
No, he's gone into retirement for the round.
Oh, that's even further than retirement.
The Human Tripwire's retirement home for the pistol round. Sponsored by Devo, Stanley, and Connor.
This could be the comeback. This is exactly what Apex needs.
Yep. Getting that pistol round, getting that second round as well, off of... That is, taking into consideration Human Tripwires is not potentially going to go for a force. If they do, it could be a different story. But for now, the attacking side, curse, blessing, however you want to call it, prevails. And Apex are on the stronger foot. Eps finds one, fire in another. Never mind. They're slowly getting pushed onto the back foot by the two remaining players of Human Tripwire. Mystic is going to decide to wrap around, or at least cause a little bit of confusion. But that's a turret. That's the third player of the round. There you go. That Killjoy turret be crazy, but never mind. Not what Enzo has to say about it.
Enzo's also securing the round. That could have been bad as well. That could have gone the way of Human Tripwires, but good securing from Enzo. Mystic taking that third one down as well. And Apex, they finally get a round that alleviates a lot of pressure. I think they're going for the rifles. Double rifle Keiko with the Spectre in hand. Never mind. Just as I say. Never mind. He is gonna take it.
Yeah.
Please, make him mind.
Listen, they have two Vandals already. Whereas Human Tripwires are sticking to the classic. I like this because yesterday we've seen a lot of forces and none of them worked out. So statistically speaking, mathematically speaking, scientifically speaking, going for that force second round in Polaris is not a good idea.
Yeah, and pretty much never you want to force on a defensive side because you don't get that extra money from a spike plant. Unless you're down like 11-1 or what, 12-1, then you have to force.
Yeah, but then like
99%
might as well
of the cases.
go next.
Yeah.
Sorry.
GG, go next.
If you're 12-0, we can win, guys. It's okay.
Trust in the process.
Trust the process. Oh, but trust in the duo. They're gonna get spotted out. The right click is not gonna do much. Enzo and Shadow are the ones to take the picks instead. But it does give information away to the rest of Human Tripwires that it's a heavy stack on B. And with that much information being given away, you can tell all their players are looking to rotate, but they're calling Apex's bluff.
Might be. No, they're stacking on the B. They're just gonna heavy focus on that. Actually, the gamble might come through, but Apex will be already on A side before the rotations come through. The spike will get taken down by Keiko, and the site is secured. Door closed. There's not much Human Tripwires can do, and I wonder, do they even want to go for it? Do they want to contest this and maybe give orbs to Apex? Do they just want to die to Spike? I think that would be the better option.
Yep, and we've seen that yesterday as well from the side of Bog. They just all died to the Spike instead. I know it ended up being a tweet on ValLeague_NE. It's going great here at Polaris. It was going great. I thought that was a good play.
Yeah, it's probably the best in that situation. Enzo, kind of curious. But is he gonna find anyone? He is gonna find someone, but is he gonna get the kill? Stanley gets low HP, but there's a lot of people supporting him. Shadow, yeah, getting one. Those are the pistols out of the round. It's all good. Apex, they don't lose too much. They keep out the rifles, the Spectre, and they're happy to go to round 15 with probably up close to full buy.
Yep. And Human Tripwires, they get that lead on the attacking side, but now on the defensive side, slowly but surely, APEKS is closing the gap. The fact that they still have 4 Vandals in the mix going up against a full buy from Human Tripwires, that's giving me personally a lot of confidence.
Absolutely. 2 rounds is the difference. If Apex can secure this one on the board, I think the second round should be instant. I'm just wondering, okay, I'm wondering how Enzo survives that, but I'm also wondering why is it so heavily favored map for attacker side? Is it because the defensive side setups are not filed in quite yet for these teams, or what is going on right here? Because Ascent, I think even in ranked, it's defensive side, especially in ranked.
Yeah, but it feels also mid this time around is getting a little bit more love. Kaiko is going to get spotted out, has to use that dash. It's a little bit of smoke, allows Enzo to push out aggressively, but he does get a little notation of that killjoy molly, which you'd never want to walk into if we're being completely honest. EPEKS though, considering all the commotion that's happening and made the decide to send out a drone, it's gonna cut off a little too early. But if anything, it's giving a clear indication to human tripwires that mid or A could be the next play, allowing Connor and Stanley to set up in position.
Connor. It's gonna get tagged. 3 players already in 3. They just wanna go through, but there's no smoke other than the cloud burst. 1 player gets the cross. Connor, Stanley. Can they even get a kill? Magnum Mystic is there to get the kills for the side of APEKS. And all of a sudden, it looks like a so hard round for the side of human tripwire.
Yeah, while all the distraction was happening on tree, Mystic was very easily getting himself onto site all the way up into rafters, making sure that some of these rotations are getting caught off at the knees. And now human tripwires are struggling with 3 players left, 2 HP on Connor. They decide to go for the save.
Yeah, they do not want to lose these rifles. I can't remember whether Devo was even close to Bladestorm. Can they utilize that onto next round, or do Stanley and Devo have to go like stingers? Do they save? Human troopers, they're getting closed in on. And there's actually Wild Goose Hunt coming in.
They want to crumble the economy.
Here.
Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna reach there. I don't think they're gonna find any guns. And no. 7 to 8. It looked like a lost cause for the side of APEKS when human tripwires were closing in on those rounds, especially on the attacking side. But it seems like the ascent for these teams, for teams in Polaris, is just gonna be on attacker side. It's gonna be attacker side heavied, or favored rather. And I'm so confused. I need someone higher IQ to tell me what is happening.
Oh, so basically literally anyone who has 1 brain cell.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. I'll take it back. I'm joking. You're kind of okay.
Thank you. Basic day on the
just
work
another
with
day in the
Ginny.
office.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ooh.
Enzo.
Stanley, though, he's gonna blind the drone. He's gonna lose a couple of shots there, but manages to get back onto safety. Then again, the push from tree onto A has been so great from the side of APEKS because they're good at clearing these corners, and every single time human tripwires, they don't have a shot at this point. Like, every single player from APEKS has just decided after that timeout that today's the day.
Yeah, and Enzo mid-air. I think that was mid-air. I'm not quite sure if he already reached ground, but hitting all of those shots as well, and once again, they are in a pickle. They have to think, do we save these rifles once again? Or do we go for it? Devo, obviously having a classic, wants to go for it, wants to get his kills, at least some damage down.
Yeah. Devo started off so incredibly strong, especially on the attacking side. We've seen so many great plays from this individual, getting a lot of space on mid. Human tripwires, though, they're still prioritizing mid, but Shadow, he's just making sure that nobody takes anything away from them. And that's their economy just down the drain.
Devo actually able to get that operator, but Connor Epps, both around 3.5k. Yeah, that's mid-air. I think that's mid-air still. Enzo getting a little bit lucky, but I don't know. I think they don't even need the luck at this point. They are getting the momentum back. They have found their feet in this match, and I think APEKS, yeah, they looked really weak on the first half, but coming on this attacking side, grouping up, getting to do those side executes as a full 5-stack, compared to having like 2-3 people holding a side, getting kind of separated for the side of APEKS, because the human troopers, I think they were great on attacking in terms of Devo creating a lot of chaos and a lot of disturbance for the defenses of APEKS, and that could have been the factor where APEKS weren't able to like close in on those gaps. They were not able to have that synergy that they should have probably already, because they have multiple players who have played with each other. But there's only like what few weeks of prac under them, so there's gonna be a lot of cracks that are gonna be shown, especially on that defensive side. So I'm just happy that they can fix those on the attack.
Yeah, and I think also Stanley on the attacking side was doing so incredibly well. A lot of rounds just single-handedly won by just one individual. And I think now relying on those individual performances is not working out for the side of Human TripWires. But Devo does manage to get one pick. That's all he's going to get with that operator. Not going to clear out Connor. He's going to find two of them. Shadow and Enzo do eventually manage to get their own picks. But with the door closed, Magnum has time to resurrect Shadow. He's back onto life. Revive me, KJ. But yeah, unfortunately, it gets put down immediately.
Spike down
And that leaves Enzo again with the spike down. Needs to go look for it, aware of the position of Firen. He's not looking to come out on top in this one-on-one. And Firen tucked away in Sub Rosa. 9 and 8.
I think Fern played that great. Just isolating that first duel, breaking that door instantly when he hears the resurrection coming through, getting that first initial pick, then falling back, just pulling that one player to isolate the duel onto side. EPEKS gets a free kill onto, I think it was Magnum on side, because they isolate those duels. And after all, Fern just jiggling. I don't know what even happened there. Enzo couldn't quite connect shots. Human TripWires, they secure the lead once again, but that's only the first round. Defensive how? Devo?
That was Operator though. Yeah, but we've seen that last round as well. If Devo starts off with the Operator pick and then APEKS kind of decides to still press pedal to the metal and get onto side, but this time around from APEKS, they've actually changed it. Instead of still deciding to commit and pushing through mid, they slowed down a little. They have Mystic outside on A. They're testing the waters rather than just fully committing. And Kaiko, he's on a mission all by himself. This could be deadly.
Yeah, Stanley. His position is gonna be known, but he's so fast with it. Magnum instantly taken out. And look at Devo's position. He smells this. He knows that Kaiko is somewhere close. And getting that angle onto Enzo as well.
Oh, he gets the first. He's aware of Enzo's position as well. He's gonna get tagged out, but Stanley is so quick to the rescue. Iron added into a mix, flawless for Human TripWires, double digits on the board, and this is why they want to descend.
Human TripWires securing that double digits is always so important, but I think still the hardest rounds are coming up. 11th and 12th round is gonna be one of those hardest rounds, especially for young teams. But I think even looking at that last situation, in Enzo trying to duel Devo, getting that beacon bolt information, Devo just delaying enough time so his teammates could come and help him, shows a lot of synergy on the side of Human TripWires. Magnum isolated. Look at
But also a
Devo.
lot of utils available. Ults. From the side of Human TripWires. And that's going to be scary from APEKS to be dealing with, because to give them opportunities to close out rounds. But instead, Devo updrafts a little too early. I think once he was in that smoke, he could have potentially just walked out, but that updraft gives away his position. Stanley's going to be triggering the alarm bot. Magnum looking to get back into safety, goes for the peek, gets the first. EPEKS with the trade.
This should indicate for APEKS to go for A side. The killjoy setup is there, but can Fern do anything? Lockdown available, and I think they're gonna go for it. No, Shadow! Denying it instantly, even before it happens. Now it's only left on EPEKS and Connor.
Spike planted.
We've seen him play this retake before, but this is a little bit more difficult. You still have players in hell to deal with, especially if Enzo goes for a wide swing like that. Not gonna find his head in time, and EPEKS coming from the exact same angle. He's gonna have to make a decision. Does he want to make the hero play or go for the save? And it feels like the save it is indeed. Is that a bronze? No, that's a gold gun buddy.
Right here.
So I got a little distracted.
I think that's bronze.
That's bronze.
You should know that.
That's a flex. Sorry, I don't play ranked.
No, but you should definitely, because you... never mind.
Are you okay, MP?
I'm good. I'm good. EPEKS, I think it's gonna...
Yeah, it's gonna hold on to the
this
operator. And it feels like APEKS might not allow it. Yeah, they're looking for the hunt, but he's have enough time to just hide a little. You know, playing a little hide and seek.
Yep. Good reaction from APEKS. I think that's really important. coming through the side of Apex. It seems like Human TripWires, they have been pressuring this map quite a lot. And especially when you see on a winning situation, when you're 4 vs 3, you see one player on B side push that aggressively, you know that you can just snowball one side with 4 players. There's gonna be only 2 players waiting for you. And they might not be ready. And once again, we see this Odin, but now on the side of Human TripWires, EPEKS holding it hand.
Yeah, EPEKS is 1 orb away from their ult. So that means that 4 ults will be available from the side of Human TripWires, which is scary. He does find a little bit of damage, but Kaiko's gonna dash into his face immediately. Odin taken out of the equation. Not something that Human TripWires, not something APEKS have to worry about right now. Mystic and Kaiko keep adding on to that death feed, and with that, Human TripWires, again, just a blink of an eye, they are forced to save.
Yeah, the round is over. Just instantly, when they have 3 players stack and they lose that stack, the round is going to be over. You cannot go for a retake, especially when 5 players survive. And I love the utility usage that APEKS had on that side. The flash coming in with the same time with Kaiko's dash, but also the supporting utility coming with in terms of the fragment on stairs, so no one's able to trade Kaiko there. No one can push to stairs and go for that kill, which allows a lot of space for Kaiko, but also a lot of time for the other players in Apex to push through A main. And Connor is gonna face Magnum. Not this time.
No. That's Killjoy gone.
No, Shadow.
Yeah. Well, Stanley finds one, but I think this is more hurtful for Human TripWires because they were the ones looking to save.
Yeah.
They were the ones looking to hold on to those 2 rifles, and now they don't have those anymore. And Apex's ult economy, just as Human TripWires, to be honest, is very scary.
Absolutely. And like, even the economy is looking so good for Apex. I think they're looking really solid. Human TripWires is actually investing quite a bit into this round. They want to go for a full buy. Double rifle and Devo with the Blade Storm. They're trusting it. They're trusting the process and the ults.
Trust the process. But mid, again, one of these heavily contested areas for Apex, and I think it's giving them a lot of openings into different sides. Hunter's Fury is gonna tag up Mystic. Mystic's gonna be able to get out eventually. That's all it's going to be able to do for now. Ebbs' ult no longer available. Apex, they still have all of their ults. And Shadow is 2 away from null command. Spray through the smoke. Connor, though! Let that be judge and jury. As 2 players from Apex are suffering.
Even a great bait coming in from Stanley. I'm not even quite sure if Stanley recognizes how significant that bait is. To just circle around while getting tagged by the Sober drone with the Spectre and just buying a lot of time and space for Connor to utilize that judge. But now, seems like Apex is gonna gather that space back. Site execute is actually gonna be on the side of B.
Ooh, Byron does find a tag. Kaiko, though, is looking to get one, is gonna get just about. Byron's turret eventually does take Shadow out. That's pretty funny. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see that, but that's okay. And now Magnum, the only one left in a 1v3. Position revealed. Playing out into the smoke, but for how long? I mean, the time is ticking. He's not going to be able to get this round closed out, but he could do some damage to Human TripWires. But all is all he's going to get. 1 is all they get. 11 to 10. It's getting pretty close.
Yeah, Human TripWires, they're closing in. Like I said, these last 2 rounds are the hardest ones. Kaiko, he dinks. I think he dinks Stanley through a wall or something and doesn't quite get that kill because of that. Apex still comfortable with the money, with the economy. Kaiko having Blade Storm as well will support Apex's economy until the end of this map. Just looking for that mid control. Doesn't quite get anything right now.
Stanley gets 2 though, and he's still looking for more. But for now, he's retiring, going back into safety a little. And Apex again on the back foot, 1 player down. Util used, looking to get onto site, not aware in terms of where they can be expecting some of these players. Firen still has the lockdown. But this is the round that APEKS need in order to equalize things, but also to make sure that their economy stays afloat.
Absolutely. They haven't used the lockdown either. Also, I love how they're regrouping on this defensive side. Stanley coming back to B side while initially being on A. Kaiko, don't do it.
Oof, smoke's gonna drop. He's gonna be able to dash into it, but 30 HP left. He's aware of both of their positions, but unfortunately not able to get either one.
Spike
30 seconds on the clock.
from the shadows.
This is called mind games. And Magnum's gonna find one player on the rotation. He wants to make it even more. He's not gonna get spotted out. He's not gonna get blinded either. He gets the first. The second is gonna be EPEKS, who's the one coming out on top. 2 players left for Mystics to deal with. But that is the lockdown. That's making it so hard for Mystics to even close this out. And spamming at the lockdown, looking to take it down. He gets distracted and Firen just peeks out. Surprise! I was behind Jenny.
Human TripWires. They secure the OT at least. APEKS through rounds.
Match point.
They need to win in a row. The economy is still there. If they lose this one, it doesn't matter. You're not gonna have any economy. You have to go for the second map. You have to go through all 3 maps to win this. Hunter's Fury is still on board. Null Command to support that as well. Is it gonna be a fast execute? It seems like they wanna control mid though. One of the things I loved how APEKS did that last round, they sent Kaiko with the spike onto B side because they had the Omen ultimate. So Kaiko could even die there without getting any of the kills, and they will still get the spike onto A side, and Kaiko possibly fakes people out of the A side, and he absolutely did. But he doesn't quite get a kill there to ease out the round for APEKS. Start coming through on the B side. EPEKS should get good information.
Yep, EPEKS is gonna find one. But this is do or die for APEKS. They're either gonna have that opportunity to push this for 2 more rounds, get it into overtime, or Human TripWires are closing it out. Right here, right now. Null Command is already a strong start. And that is EPEKS forced in a little awkward corner. Kaiko has already managed to get himself some space and pressure onto B side. And now APEKS know and are fully aware of the safety that they're currently in. They have to take into consideration that all 5 members from the side of Human TripWires are still alive, and their util is yet to be used.
Spike planted. You should run.
5 versus 5 retake situation. This is gonna be messy for the observers. I'm sorry. Lockdown gonna get invested. It's gonna get even more messier after this lockdown is done. So you don't have a lot of time to spare. You have to go for the site retake.
Your APEKS are buying themselves time, whereas Human TripWires, they're fighting against the clock. And APEKS is making it so hard, they decide to save.
It's a good call.
It's too big of a mountain to climb.
Yeah, a great call. I think it's a great call watching Human TripWires economy. And I don't think APEKS can even believe this save. They're like, what? They're not coming? Human TripWires. They're just gonna try to secure that last round, that 13th round on round 24. Operator in the hands of Devil once again. Full buy. They get full utility. Both of these teams. Couple ultimates for the side of APEKS. Favors them a little bit, especially the Hunter's Fury. And if Kaiko can pop off with the Blade Storm, you can go a little bit faster. But
also,
A main control is gonna be heavy for Human TripWires.
I also want to sing Human TripWires praises here, because a lot of the times when we're seeing teams needing that one more round, they get a little bit more reckless. Whereas it feels like it's the complete opposite for Human TripWires. The closer they're getting to that end goal, the more they're reeling it in. And the more decision making is being put into every single one of their actions.
Enzo, just clearing out mid, getting that control. They want to stack this mid heavy, get the pressure away, just Killjoy around, but out of the situation. Kaiko going fast!
Yo!
Stanley's almost gone!
He's not gonna land all of them, but even with the blind, it's Kaiko to be coming out on top. Hunter's Fury is looking to isolate a couple more of those members, but Shadow is already pushed out of market. He finds a player himself, and Enzo with that Hunter's Fury, staking Firen down right with the rest of his team, leaving Connor and Devo to try and clean up this mess in any way they can. Connor flashing them out into mid. And this is the mid plays that we've been talking about. This is that pressure on mid that you get where you completely distort your opponent. They're not sure where you're coming from. You have that opening onto
Mystic.
market. You have that opening from CT.
Mystic. Behind. Gets taken out by Connor. It's 1 versus 3 because Magnum trades it. Fragment coming in. Doesn't quite get that corner completely. Connor just having to isolate these duels one by one. But so much utility coming through from the side of APEKS. That dart flash composition is perfect. And 12-12, we secure the overtime once again. First map is guaranteed overtime.
Let's go.
I'm happy.
Hi, Happy. Genie.
Okay.
Okay. Shut up.
I can't with you. I can't.
Listen, gotta be a little serious. Gotta make a little jokes. You gotta, keep people on their toes. Don't know what to expect. And I guess that's what both of these teams are doing to us, because we don't know what we're expecting. We were expecting APEKS to come and make this 2-0, but Human TripWires, they have absolutely blown our expectations out of the water.
Absolutely. It seems like... Never mind.
Water.
That would have been... I was about to make one of the cringiest jokes on the broadcast. And
Okay.
I'm not gonna make that because I think I wouldn't be hired back. Devo?
Both of you to assume you're already being hired back.
Okay. Oh! Magnum!
Oh, Magnum! That was... The aggression that we're seeing from APEKS right now is what we've seen towards the end of their attacking rounds. And that's how they closed out and got some of those rounds back in. This is how they played the attack after the timeout. And they're sticking to that through overtime.
Yeah. Perfect timing there as well. The fragment coming through from Shadow allows Magnum to just get that spray. Kaiko is there to finish. EPS. And APEKS.
Ooh, now they need to attack. And they've
First
been
time
very
in
good
a
at
long
that.
time.
But they've been very good at the attack as well. APEKS, they have majority of their rounds. Both teams have majority of their rounds on the attacking side. So I think this timeout coming in, very called for. Because Human TripWires, on the defense, they've struggled. APEKS actually managed to win on the defense. So now they're in the driver's seat.
They absolutely are. And they've been gaining a lot of momentum, getting those rounds back. I think it's been 57 years since APEKS has had lead in this map. And can they close it out? They actually have the first chance. Human TripWires timeout. Is it gonna make a difference?
I don't know, is it?
Gonna pick out that operator? Seems like not. At least not at this moment.
Yeah. I wouldn't expect the operator coming out from Devo. Yes, he's had some picks, but I feel like the success rate in comparison to just running that Vandal has not been too different. So I would be a little surprised if he does decide to go for that operator, but again, it wouldn't surprise me. You're the Jet. But I think on the Vandal, he's been more confident. He's had more success. So therefore, I'm not expecting it.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the time, actually, that Devo has picked the operator.
Yeah.
It has been on the wrong side of the map.
Yes.
Or if it has been on the right side, it has been denied with a lot of utility from APEKS. And even just a drone. That's...
Ooh!
No way!
You usually expect this after you get tagged, not before.
Yeah.
So the
and
timing
now he's going
from
for the
Ebbs-
seconds.
Yeah, so the timing from Ebbs here, beautiful. Caught them off guard. Caught me off guard. And Kaiko got caught off guard as well. But still, it doesn't feel like Magnum wants to give up on his dream of taking on B-site. He could potentially be spotting out Ebbs here. Oh, if only you knew what was behind that little wall in your crosshair, Magnum. If only you knew.
Oh, EPS.
He's putting himself in a terrible position, but he's doing it because Firen's got his back.
That's exactly how you roll. When you're a team at this level, you have to have that cover because someone could be creeping in close. Enzo almost taking out Connor. Is Stanley gonna react? He's gonna go for the aggressive peek. No, just holding that corner still down. 35 seconds on the clock.
35 seconds indeed.
30
Still no
seconds.
spot.
And APEKS, they have to commit, but they're not going to be clearing Stanley. He's going to be able to get these picks for free.
Spike down A.
It's Christmas come early, playing out of the smoke. And Mystic is one left, 1 on 5. Can he do it? He's going to make this a 1 on 4. Blind coming out. But with so much firepower still available from Human Tripwires, they're equalizing the score. Double overtime.
Switching sides.
Yeah, spike down short.
Overtime.
Nothing Mystic could do. Now it seems like it's the defensive side that's coming through. Oh no. Oh, he even hits Magnum there. And he's kind of tracking Magnum, even though he doesn't know where Magnum is because the recon ball hasn't been invested. And Kaiko is just collateral. That Odin is doing some dirty work. And I'm here for it. As long as I'm not at the end of the Odin. Enzo taking one of his own as well. B lobby. It's not safe for anyone.
Okay, Connor flashing out aggressively, but this time around we're not seeing Devo peek off of it. So initially when we were seeing this flash on mid, it would be Devo going for that aggressive peek and them getting a pick, and I expecting, or at least suspecting, that Human Tripwires is aware, that APEKS is also aware of this position, so they know that they know that they know. And therefore, if you know that they know that they know, you don't do it.
Enzo trying to get something. Doesn't quite get any damage done to the side of Human Tripwires, and they get the side for free. 2 players stuck in lobby. Maybe capitalizing that mid position later on in this round, in this post plant.
No.
A lot of utility still left, especially on the side of APEKS. Shadow has the whole kit. So does Kaiko, Mystic. Almost. Enzo as well. Almost the whole kit left.
Yeah, and that's these quick takes by Human Tripwires, and APEKS giving them the shot to get onto the site, because now they're all holding onto that util. They're going to be able to use that to clear out some sites. But Fyron and Devo and Stanley are not having any of it. Flawless round from Human Tripwires. And APEKS, they need to pick this one up if they want to push this to overtime again.
Absolutely. And I think I heard the perfect utility combination once again. Sova
Okay.
Dart with the KO flash. I'm quite sure that it was Connor and Epps who comboed that or those utilities rather, which allows them to see all of APEKS's players, and that's how they picked off. That's how they get picked off in what, 2 seconds? The round was over. The Human Tripwires, now they stand a chance to win out this. Kaiko going for that mid aggression once again, wanting to get that alarm bot out of this situation.
Oh. I guess fully blind. Util deployed though, he's gonna be able to dash through it, but again, that's something that you're expecting from them. He's gonna be able to get away Epps' tag. The rest of the team has now arrived, and with that molly on CT, it's a little difficult for Human Tripwires to push past it. Enzo even capitalizing off of that fire and playing from Boathouse is gonna find one. The flash helping him out. Magnum positioned onto main, but Enzo is on an absolute tear. This man shows up whenever he's needed, and this time around, they were in dire need.
Switching sides.
And he's come online, 14-14. Triple overtime, I guess?
I guess. I mean, yesterday, it wasn't quite enough. It was good. We want more overtimes. Enzo's just cleaning up the whole crew there. Gets eventually traded out, but then it's Shadow to step up. Look at this IGL. Enzo 24 kills. And APEKS, they will take a timeout. I think it's a great point to take a timeout here. Just trying to secure that defensive side around. Think about, why is Human Tripwires so good on attacking side? What have been they able to do that APEKS don't quite get to counter? And I think mid control and short control has been lacking for APEKS.
Yeah.
Now
I think on the attack, when they're pushing for that mid control, they're able to get onto CT, they're able to get through market onto B, and that's been quite overwhelming for Human Tripwires to deal with. But now that mid control is a little lacking, it feels like Human Tripwires are happy to come through with the rotations. They're not too worried about their rotations being cut off, which initially would be the case when they're pushing mid. So they're chilling.
Being chilling. They had
Oh no.
a good round previously. When they contested that mid, the fragment or short, APEKS were able to take that defensive side round. And once again, the mid is left open, but this time it's Kaiko. He's holding this operator angle. They know Fern likes to control B main, but this time it seems like it's more passive setup coming from Fern. They are actually once again trying to utilize sword.
So Drone getting some info, but tree again clear. They're not gonna be picking out Magnum, so they're not entirely sure what's waiting for them behind that wall. It's gonna have to be a decision whether or not they want to commit to it, and this looks like, for now, that's a decision that they don't want to make.
I think Kaiko gets spotted by the killshot turret.
Oh, mid though.
He's falling back.
Mid is
Yeah,
completely
he
unattended.
requires-
There's no util. Oh, Kaiko is pushed out aggressively, but gets punished immediately by Devo, and Market is also no longer under control from the side of APEKS. They've given up that mid control that we said is so important, but Enzo is gonna get a tag. Looking to do a little bit of damage, but it's not gonna be enough as he's spraying through the smoke. Epps and Connor were the ones to clap back instead. Magnum does find a trade, but that's all it's gonna be for now. Newman Tripwires are getting a chance to get that plan down. 2-on-2 scenario. 2-on-3.
Mystic so far. Just right now closing in on the side. A lot of utility still left, having to clear all of that. Mystic, Paranoia on hand, and one more smoke left. You could do a lot of damage with that Magnum. Just going forward, trying to get one pick. At least one of the picks. Stanley gets taken out. Magnum goes for a second, and this duo, Fnatic duo, is able to secure 15th round for APEKS.
Not even close.
No!
I knew they were gonna win that. I didn't doubt it. Did you?
Sure. Never.
Never. No, never.
Switching
Yo,
sides.
Magnum, hold up.
Match point.
What was that?
They look at us, but are they us?
15
That was incredible.
to 14. Human Tripwires once again back against the wall. Are they gonna take the operator? Are they gonna invest into that? Kaiko did. APEKS did. Is Devil comfortable?
Charlie Mike, let's move.
No. It's gonna be the rifle. But it has worked previously as well, like you talked about. Devil seems to be comfortable with the rifle. It's so much better trying to combo utility for the jet when you have a rifle on the jet.
Yep. The operator for Devo just has not been paying off its dividends, so that investment potentially is not worth it at the moment. It's not making sense, especially when you're in these overtimes. There are these little tiny mistakes that you could be making that could be making a whole difference, and that's when you're peaking, when there is already a flash, or you're just not clearing Stanley at all. The man is just allowed to reign free on APEKS. Gets shut down eventually, but still, it's 2 players down. Make that 3. Magnum taken out as well, and now, yes, you have the sight. And Enzo and Mystic left to clutch it out. We know what these players are capable of. They are able to clutch this. But Human Tripwires, they're not ever going to make this easy because this team has shown so much in these last few rounds.
Still recon part both left for Enzo. This could be huge if he gets the tag. No one
He
spotted.
looks away at just an unfortunate timing. The shock dart is gonna be looking to do some damage. Eventually that smoke's gonna drop. It's gonna give them away that sense of safety. Mystic gets one, Enzo the other. And it's now a one-on-one. Firing against Enzo, and this is a battle of time because you still need some time to get the defuse, but don't matter. Enzo is closing this out, clutching it once again, stepping up when he's needed the most. And APEKS are the winners of the first map against Human Tripwires, defeating them on their own pick.
16-14. We had to go through all of the 30 rounds to get this finished result. And
But we're
impressive from Human Tripwires.
Absolutely.
I just gotta give that to them.
I think Human Tripwires has really stepped it up in comparison to what we've seen from them last year. A lot of these mistakes that we've seen last year in terms of just being a little too sloppy or falling apart mid-rounds, not entirely sure how to execute once they lose a player, that has completely changed. They dictated the pace for this game for the longest of times. They forced APEKS to their limit. APEKS had to call multiple timeouts to be able to pull this off, and individual performances from some of these players, when we're talking about Stanley, we're talking about Devo, but also from the side of APEKS, Enzo, he's back in Polaris, and he is showing us why he did so incredibly well.
Yeah, the individual talent even coming from Enzo is incredible. You're playing an initiator and getting a lot of kills. That kill was... I don't know what happened there. It could have been a ping delay, so for us it didn't show that Enzo was already on the ground.
Yeah.
And he was on the ground, but that looked like mid-air. Human TripWires, great synergy for this team, and I think APEKS, they're already like taken aback by Human TripWires. I feel like they should have been so much more heavily favored coming into Ascent even. Coming to Human TripWires' map, I think APEKS still should have been more heavily favored, but next upcoming we have APEKS' map of Icebox.
MVP Enzo, I think this was to be expected just by his performance today, and also previously in Polaris when he was on the Alliance roster. A lot of MVPs being collected by Enzo, one of incredibly talented players. Stanley, I mean, this man was everywhere and nowhere at the same time because you don't know where he is. A lot of the times he was left completely unchecked, and when that was the case, he was reigning free on the APEKS crew.
Yeah, absolutely. Stanley, he has been off of my radar for a long time. Played for the Spanish League under Movistar Riders, but previously played for 10-star Tyron Mill. Amazing talent, and I'm so happy to see a lot of good action coming through him. I'm sure that 3K at the start of the map helped him a lot to gain that confidence, but if we see that going on more and more, I'm just happy because I think a lot of these players, they need confidence, especially against a team, a monster like APEKS, and that's how you win out the rounds. That's how you get those individual performances, but also the synergy that we already saw between these players.
Yeah, if anything, APEKS here, they are the team to beat. They are the team to dethrone, so to say, coming in this as the favorites. But Human TripWires, we wrote them off quite early. I don't think anyone expected this from them, so for them to actually be showing up here today and doing what they just did, that's incredible. We still have 2 more maps to go potentially. The next one is going to be Icebox, and I think what this map specifically highlighted here is a couple of the mistakes that potentially APEKS could be working on, but also the strength of Human TripWires.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that I'm going to look out for in Icebox especially is that mid workaround. I think Human TripWires, they were able to split APEKS quite well on Ascent Devo, making those aggressive plays into market, into mid, pull out a lot of rotations. And if that's the case for the side of APEKS on the defending side for Icebox, I think that leaves mid open and really vulnerable. And I think Human TripWires, they're definitely going to utilize that.
Yeah, they utilized the mid here on Ascent incredibly well, and unfortunately it maybe was not enough. But as we're going to be heading on to Icebox, both of these teams are going to get a couple minutes to regain their thoughts and come up with a strategy in terms of what they want to improve on. So don't go anywhere because we've got Icebox coming up next.